July, 1944. The European sky is a graveyard of aluminum and burning oil. The Third Reich is cornered, but they are far from finished. Above the English Channel, the Luftwaffe has assembled the single largest aerial armada in human history. Over 3,000 fighters and bombers, the Bf-109s, the Focke-Wulfs, the twin-engine Junkers, forming a black, suffocating wall that stretches from horizon to horizon. This is the end of the world for the Allies. But then, something breaks the laws of time. Out of a thundercloud traveling at a velocity that creates a sonic boom loud enough to shatter glass across the coast, emerges a jagged silver shadow. It has no propellers, it leaves no smoke. This is the Lockheed Martin F-22 Raptor. It is the absolute peak of American technological dominance, a $200 million predator dropped into a century that isn't ready for it. Can one single pilot from the future systematically dismantle 3,000 legendary aces? Or is the Silver Ghost just a flying computer about to be crushed by a mountain of steel? Strap in, because we're about to watch history be rewritten in blood and titanium. Your grandfather's P-51 Mustang was a work of art, but the F-22 Raptor is a declaration of war against the very concept of physics. This isn't just a plane, it's an apex predator designed by engineers who wanted to play God. Powered by twin Pratt & Whitney F119 engines, the Raptor doesn't just fly, it dominates. It possesses the ability of supercruise, allowing it to sustain Mach 1.8 without even using its afterburners. In 1944, the fastest German interceptor is pushing 440 miles per hour. The Raptor is moving at nearly 1,500 miles per hour. That isn't a speed difference, it's a different dimension. But the real heart of the beast is the AN/APG-77 AESA radar. While the Luftwaffe is literally squinting through oil-stained glass to find targets, the Raptor pilot is looking at a crystal-clear tactical display that tracks every single one of those 3,000 planes from hundreds of miles away. He isn't dogfighting. He's managing a spreadsheet where the only result is delete. In the 1940s, stealth was a fairy tale told to recruits. But for the F-22, it is a religion. The Raptor's skin is coated in radar-absorbent materials, and its body is shaped into jagged, futuristic angles that bounce radio waves into oblivion. To the primitive German radar stations, this 62-foot engine of destruction has the radar cross-section of a marble. He is a ghost in the machine. While the Luftwaffe pilots are screaming into their crackling radios trying to coordinate a search, the Raptor pilot is sitting in a pressurized, climate-controlled cockpit, surrounded by sensor fusion. His helmet-mounted display gives him 360-degree vision. He can literally look through the floor of his aircraft to see a target 5 miles below him. He is the only man in 1944 who knows exactly where everyone is, while everyone else is fighting blind in a room full of knives. It's not just an advantage, it's a god complex with wings. So how do you handle 3,000 enemies with one plane? You start the slaughter before they even see the sun glint off your canopy. Hidden inside the Raptor's internal weapon bays is the AIM-120D AMRAAM. This is a fire-and-forget, active radar-guided assassin that travels at Mach 4. The Raptor pilot can ripple-fire these missiles from 60 miles away. For the German pilots, there is no warning. There is no tracer fire. 1 second, you are flying in formation with your best friend, and the next, he is a cloud of burning magnesium. Then, for the close-in kills, the Raptor utilizes the AIM-9X Sidewinder. This heat-seeking missile can pull a staggering 60 Gs in a turn. It doesn't matter how hard a Focke-Wulf pilot dives or banks. The Sidewinder will follow the heat of his engine like a bloodhound. And if things get personal, the M61A2 Vulcan 20mm cannon spits out 100 rounds per second. A 1-second burst doesn't just damage a World War II plane, it vaporizes it. But don't mistake this for an easy win. The Luftwaffe of 1944 is a cornered animal, and it is dangerous. We are talking about 3,000 aircraft. That is an ocean of lead. These pilots are the Experten, men with 300 kills to their names who have survived the frozen hell of the Eastern Front and the firestorms of the Reich. They are flying the Bf-109G6 and the FW-19, Odora, machines that were the pinnacle of engineering in their time. Their strategy against the Silver Ghost is simple, brutal saturation. They aren't trying to outmaneuver him, they are trying to fill every cubic inch of the sky with 20mm cannon shells and 7.92mm bullets. It's a battle of a single, perfect diamond against a tsunami of mud. Even if the Raptor is invisible, the Germans can see the explosions of their comrades. They begin to tighten their formations, creating a hedgehog defense, hoping that sheer volume of fire will eventually clip a wing or shatter a sensor. It's a desperate gamble against a future they can't comprehend. 8 a.m. The first wave of German bombers appears on the Raptor's radar. They are flying in a massive, lumbering V formation, protected by hundreds of escort fighters. The Raptor is sitting at 65,000 feet, an altitude so high the air is too thin for the German engines to even breathe. The pilot selects his targets. Click, click, click. 8 AMRAAMs drop from the bays, their rocket motors igniting with a roar that no one below can hear. 2 minutes later, the German command structure is decapitated. 8 flight leaders explode simultaneously. The radio chatter becomes a symphony of terror. Was ist das? Wo sind sie? No enemy is visible, no flak is bursting. Their planes are simply being smited by an invisible force. The Raptor pilot circles above, cold and detached, watching the armada begin to disintegrate before it even reaches the English coast. He hasn't even broken a sweat, and he's already more lethal than the entire RAF combined. Once the long-range missiles are spent, the Raptor dives. This is where the physics-defying nightmare truly begins. The F-22 uses 2D thrust vectoring, meaning its engine nozzles can tilt to redirect its thrust. The jet can literally stop in mid-air, flip on its axis, and change direction in a way that makes the Luftwaffe pilots think they are hallucinating. A German ace gets on the Raptor's tail, lining up his sights, but in a heartbeat, the Raptor performs a Cobra maneuver, soaring vertically and ending up behind the German. The Vulcan cannon roars, a sound like a giant tearing a mountain in half. The 20mm high-explosive rounds strike the Bf-109, and the plane doesn't just crash, it disintegrates. The Raptor is moving through the swarm at Mach 1.5, leaving a trail of sonic booms that flip smaller planes over. It's like a hawk in a cage full of sparrows. The German gunners try to lead their shots, but the Raptor is already half a mile away before they can even pull the trigger. By 11 a.m., the Silver Ghost has become a supernatural entity. The German pilots aren't fighting a war anymore, they are participating in a massacre. Word spreads through the radio frequencies, the Ghost is here. Panic is more contagious than fire. Entire squadrons of Junkers bombers jettison their loads into the sea and turn back for France, desperate to escape the invisible death. The psychological impact of being hunted by something you cannot see, cannot touch, and cannot outrun is total. The Luftwaffe High Command is in a state of absolute meltdown. They suspect the British have developed a ray gun or a gravity drive. This single American jet has created a no-fly zone across the entire English Channel through pure, unadulterated terror. The Expert 10, who have fought for 5 years, are now weeping in their cockpits, praying for the ground. The Raptor has achieved the ultimate goal of modern warfare. He has won the battle in the enemy's mind before the physical fight is even over. But even a god of the skies has a mortal weakness, and it isn't an enemy bullet, it's logistics. By 2 p.m., the Raptor's internal bays are empty. The AMRAAMs are gone, the Sidewinders have all found their marks, and the Vulcan cannon is down to its last few clicks of lead. Even more pressing is the fuel gauge. The F-22 is a thirsty beast, and its high-performance engines require JP-8 jet fuel, a substance that literally won't exist for another decade. In 1944, there are no airmen who know how to service a stealth coating, no engineers who understand what a microchip is, and 0 spare parts for a digital flight control system. The Raptor has achieved the impossible, downing nearly 150 aircraft in a single morning, a feat that makes every ace in history look like an amateur. But without the massive industrial machine of the 21st century behind it, the Raptor is a one-day wonder. It's a brutal reminder that modern warfare isn't just about the tip of the spear, it's about the miles of supply chain that keep it sharp. Our pilot is forced to break off engagement, leaving the remaining thousands of German planes to a sky that is suddenly, terrifyingly silent. So, did the Raptor win World War II? Not quite. But for one terrifying morning, It showed the 1940s what a god looked like. It bought the Allies the time they needed, shattered the morale of the Luftwaffe, and left a scar on history that would never heal. The Raptor eventually lands at a secret RAF base where ground crews look at its smooth, rivetless skin like it fell from the stars. It is a reminder that in the sky, technology is the ultimate judge, jury, and executioner. But it also proves that even a machine from the future is nothing without the bravery of the man in the seat. What do you think? If we sent a fleet of 10 Raptors, would the war have ended by lunch? Or would the sheer weight of 3,000 planes eventually bring them down? Let us know in the comments, and if you want to see more what-if battles that break the timeline, hit that subscribe button. The future is coming, and it's traveling at Mach 2.